Hello and welcome to Shammu Mayas Academy. This is Ashwin. Let us take up today's current events of the day. So the topics and discussion for today's session is Swachhta Sarathi Fellowship. It is a fellowship related program which has been launched by our Indian government. And the next one is Sugamya Bharat app. Saint George's Orthodox Church is set to become monument of national importance. Russia's Arctica M satellite to monitor Arctic climate. USTR report mentions India's policies as trade restrictive. So let us take the first one, that is Swachhta Sarathi Fellowship. It has been a fellowship program which has been launched year after year by Indian government to control the waste. So it is a principal scientific advice program which has been launched by Office of Principal Scientific Advisor, and it is named Waste to Wealth Mission. The aim of this program is to a Clean India program. It will be engaging all the peoples, such as self-help groups, community workers, municipal or sanitary workers, who are engaged in tackling the waste scientifically and sustainably. So here, the fellowship will be given up to 500 students, and this is only not for students, and other individual citizens of India also can participate in this fellowship. So let us discuss what is the actual fellowship is. So government is dividing three categories: A, B, C, and A, B, and C. In A, the category of A, school students from 9th to 12th standards will be engaged in the community work. They will be chosen and they will be given the fellowship program, and it is a part of Swachh Bharat mission. So they will be acting in the clean program. Under category B, here government will be engaging the students of UG, PG, and research. Research means PhD students also will be engaged in the community work to manage the waste. Under the category C, individual citizens. As I have already told, if you are a citizen of India, you can easily apply this under this C category. Apart from that, persons working through self-help groups, municipality or sanitary workers working beyond the specifications of their job requirement or descriptions also can apply. So what is actually waste to a wealth mission? So here we are going to convert the waste into a wealth through sustainable and very welfare manner. The Waste to Wealth mission is one of the 9 national missions of the Prime Minister's Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Council. Yes, it is also comes under the mission of Swachh Bharat. So it is a part of the program of that bigger program. What is the aim? As I have told, it will be identifying the workers or the community workers, and they will be engaged in the recycle of materials, and they will be extracting the value from the waste. The mission is the scientific arm of the Swachh Bharat mission. Let us take up the next one, that is Sugamya Bharat app. It is an app which has been launched by Social Justice and Empowerment. Sugamya Bharat app is a mobile app. It will sensitize and enhance accessibility, which consists of three pillars of Accessible India campaign. See, Accessible India campaign is a campaign which is only for the people who are being be with disabilities, persons with disabilities or people with disabilities. That is what we used to call PWDS. So here this app will be given to them and they will be accessing all the things regarding environment and transportation sector and technology ecosystem in India. The app will aid the Accessible India campaign towards making a barrier-free and conducive environment for Divyans, or either Divangians or persons with disabilities in Hindi. What is the features of this app? Here, any complaint regarding PWs can be applied here with photos, and departmental updates will be given with the app. Guidelines and circulars related to accessibility will be given or will be popping up while opening the app. The fifth is a special feature meant only for Divyangs for COVID related issues. If any issues related to COVID-19 with regarding the persons with disabilities, they can do this in this app. So it is a very important topic, that is Saint George's Orthodox Church is to become monument of national importance. So in news we have seen there is a big problem going around Kerala about this Saint George's Orthodox Church. It is a centrally protected monument of national importance which has been recognized by Archaeological Survey of India recently. So what is monuments of national importance? The nodal authority to engage this thing is Archaeological Survey of India. They will be announcing any property or any sites or any remains, any few past remains of a country. They will be announcing that as a national importance, monument of national importance. Ancient monument is defined under the Ancient Monument and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 1958. This is an act in which they will be identifying the cave, rock sculpture, and inscription that is of historical archaeological interest. Further, ancient monument has to be in existence for not less than 100 years. So, if anything have to be announced as a monument of national importance, that should be 100 years old, and that should not be less than 100 years of old. An ancient monument is defined by under the Act Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 1950. These are all the two things here we have to note for prelims. So the central government is authorized to maintain, protect, and promote the monuments of national importance. So it is also one thing we have to know. Currently in India, we are having 3,691 monuments nationwide are protected by the Archaeological Survey of India. The highest number of them were in Uttar Pradesh, followed by Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Please just note down the area in which we are having much amount of monuments are Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, and also it is followed by Tamil Nadu. The next one is science and technology based thing, that is Russia's Arctica satellites to monitor Arctic climate. So there is a prevailing climate in Arctic and Antarctic Ocean. So here we are going to see the changing climate which is happening in the Arctic Ocean region. So Russia has launched this satellite named Arctica. It is a emergency communication satellite and is also a remote sensing satellite. Yesterday only I have told what is a remote sensing and communication satellite. We are having two various kinds of satellite, that is PSLV, that is Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, and GSLV, Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle. So this is how this remote sensing and emergency communication satellites are being launched by the scientists. So what is the objective of this? The objective of this satellite is to launch the climate and environment related satellites which will be remote sensing the area of Arctic region. So here we have to note it is a region of Arctic Ocean. So Arctic region is going to be monitored to this Arctica satellite of Russia. Russia has planned to send up a second satellite in 2023. These satellites will be combined with the Arctica M satellite. These two satellites will offer round the clock all weather monitoring of Arctic Ocean on the surface of the Earth. So as I have told already, it is a remote sensing satellite. It will be giving the information related to the Arctic Ocean region. The significance of this satellite will create more accurate models for compiling short-term weather forecasts. So regarding to the climate change which is happening nowadays, this satellite will be focusing mainly on the weather forecasts. The compilation will give researchers a large amount of new data for studying global climate change. So next one is an important report which has been released by US, that is United States, report regarding the trade restrictive actions which is taken up by our India. So the USTR report highlighted a few important updates on trade between India and the US in 2020. See, last year we have the President Donald Trump who was not willing in so much contractions between India and US regarding the trade relative actions. So India was removed from its generalized preference. So here the problems happens. Let us discuss what it is. The US continued to engage with India in 2020. We all know that we are doing much more of trade relationship with the US and China also. The US tried to resolve market access issues affecting US exporters. However, India's policies still remain the trade restrictive. There are so many actions being taken up by our Indian government. Still, there is some restrictive actions which is curbing our US, so that US are not doing any kind of exports regarding India. So, Make in India initiative made a lot of restrictions to other countries so that other countries are not able to or willing to do trade with India. One of which country is US. So let us discuss the USTR report on bilateral trade deal. So US having a special preferences, that is generalized system of preferences. Under GSP, they will be helping the developing countries. For example, US is a well-developed country. US is a well-developed country, and this US will be giving some concessions and less tariff to the countries which are developing nowadays. So India is also a developing country. Here, US will be giving some concessions during the trade. After the suspension of GSP benefits, the US and India had resumed talks aimed at producing a trade deal. Before a year, US has noticed that in WTO, India is giving much amount of concessions to its farmers to produce high amount of production in agriculture. So likewise, India is giving free current electricity, that is electricity, and giving much amount of subsidies, fertilizers, and everything. So that US has announced in WTO, India should curb its actions to develop its trade. Our issues remaining unresolved, leaving inconclusive negotiations. USTR report on digital service tax. So there are a lot of US related companies are working in India. These companies which are working in India are not able to give a concession to its digital services which is happening in India. For example, US based company, any kind of company is working in India, this company have to pay digital tax. There are more number of housing loans and other kind of companies are working and engaging Indian people in this works. So this works uh, are being taxed very higher and to the US people by India. So that they are saying it is a discriminatory one among the countries because you are taxing us much. So this is should be given very concession. That is what the opposition party, that is US, says. So let us take up the prelims based questions regarding today's current affairs. Consider the following statements with regard to Arctica M satellite. I have discussed very clearly what is this Arctica satellite. It has been launched by Russia for remote sensing and emergency communication satellite. That is true. First one is true. It is designed to monitor the climate and environment in Antarctic region. It is not Antarctic region, it is Arctic region. So Arctic region is a region where this climate change is happening much. So we are focusing here. So here you can easily note the mark the correct one, that is A only. Let us take up the second one, that is consider the following statements with regard to ancient monument. So Saint George Church in Kerala has been announced as a ancient national monument of national importance. So that only it was in use. Ancient monument is defined under the Ancient Monument and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act 1958. That's true. An ancient monument can be registered under this Act of 1958. And the next one is ancient monument has to be in existence for not less than 50 years. It is not 50 years, it is 100 years. So if anything should be recognized as an ancient monument, it should be 100 years old. It should not be less than 100 years. So here the answer we should go for A. A only. So let us wind up this session with this. Thank you for watching. Let us meet you on tomorrow's session.